shooting. He says that he was justified in that Thanksgiving night shooting. Here is what he had to say.
So first question, just overall, after hearing after I guess completing the investigation, what are you confident with this report that you released today?
Yeah, we're very confident in our conclusions. It was a very thorough investigation by Aaliyah. I think an excellent job by our staff in being able to evaluate the facts and the law. And not only do you see the Attorney General's office issuing a report today that establishes that this officer was justified in his actions, but also it's validated by a separate law enforcement agency, and that's the FBI, who concluded there was no evidence to go forward for them for a civil rights violation as well.
Now, of course, this report is going to make a lot of people upset. The family speaking out, having press conferences now. And they're also calling for protests, essentially, like we've never seen before. What advice do you have for the public, the city of Hoover, and Aaliyah?
My advice for anybody, first of all, is to read the report so that folks can understand what we looked at, what the true facts were, and why the decision was made. Beyond that, obviously, there is a right for people to be able to protest in this country. I wouldn't say anything at all to dissuade somebody from doing that, but we also want it done responsibly without damage to property or other threats that are made to other people. But what I do believe is if people have an opportunity to review the video along with the report, they'll understand the reason why we reached and the FBI reached the same conclusion.
What message does this send to, of course this could happen again, what message does this send to individuals that are involved in this case?
I don't know if there's any message that's sent from this report other than these are the facts of this case and these are the conclusions that we've drawn. What we do know, however, and I think that people need to be able to appreciate, is that law enforcement has to make split-second decisions based upon what they see and based upon what they can evaluate. And in this case, this officer had less than 2 seconds to decide when they saw an individual after a shooting with a gun in his hand, with an aggressive stance, moving toward innocent bystanders in that mall, what action could he take to be able to stop that threat? And we believe that he acted reasonably here.
But a lot of that same question came up during the press conference. Some were saying that there wasn't a verbal command, which a lot of people say is standard in those types of situations. But you said that there's you have a split second, to make a decision.
Verbal commands in this case actually were disputed. We had 2 witnesses who said, in fact, they heard the officer speak. The officer said they didn't recall being able to say it. But yet, that alone was not a determinant factor here. What we did look at is both as shown on the video as well as what the officer's statement demonstrated was the fact that you had an individual who chambered around, who was pointing toward the direction of those that were otherwise innocent bystanders to this particular event, and that he was moving directly toward them. And this officer had to decide, based on his training, what he should do. And we believe, again, that he acted here responsibly.
Do you feel that all of the information as of now is out there, whether that's with the report, pictures, videotapes, witness statements? Do you feel that everything is now on the table?
We believe everything's on the table that we've been allowed to produce. The Alabama State Bar, based on the other case that's pending in Jefferson County, did limit to some extent what we could produce publicly. But one of the things that we decided to do early on is if we believe that there was not probable cause that a crime was committed, and in fact that's the decision we made, let's be as transparent as possible. And so what we produced is not only a lengthy report going second by second through what happened here, through an analysis of the law and our ethical obligation in producing the facts relating to this, is that we've given the people of Alabama an opportunity to see in an unprecedented way how we made this decision and why. And we believe that's the appropriate way to go forward.
Breaking news, our Capitol Bureau reporter Rashad Hudson interviewing Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall. We want to recap for you now what has happened in the past hour. You are currently looking at surveillance video from that Thanksgiving night shooting at the River Chase Galleria. Just within the past hour, we looked in on a press conference with E.J. Bradford Jr.'s family's attorney, Benjamin Crump Jr., as well as some members of Bradford's family. They also commenting on this ruling and the video. Crump telling our reporter just within the past hour that E.J. Bradford's life matters and that they believe that the Attorney General's decision in this case was not acceptable. He says that they can anticipate that the community is going to be outraged when they see the video for themselves. He is also warning for the community to get ready for reaction to to the release of both this report and the video. Crump going on to say that they are accusing the Attorney General of trying to protect the officer. We are going to continue to follow this developing story in our newscast at both 5 and 6 o'clock. The city of Hoover has also said that they received the report from the Attorney General's office and that they are planning on releasing a statement of their own tomorrow. You can continue to follow this coverage, read everything for yourself, see the video as well right now on CBS42.com as well as on the free CBS 42 News app. For now, we are returning you to your regularly scheduled programming.
This has been a CBS 42 breaking news report. Local coverage you can count on.